Welcome to Merrimack High School in Merrimack, New Hampshire for another season of Merrimack Tomahawks Wrestling, presented by Merrimack TV, your community, your voice. We welcome in the Clippers of Portsmouth High School for the home opener of the dual meet season. The Tomahawks, under head coach Brian Dine in his 15th season, are mostly young and inexperienced, Kevin, but we've got a core of seniors and juniors ready to anchor the squad and provide some much-needed leadership.
Thank you, Aaron, and thanks for watching today's event on Merrimack TV. If you're interested in learning more about Merrimack TV, email Nicholas and Justin at merrimacktv at merrimacknewhampshire.gov. You're right about this team, Aaron. 19 freshmen on this team, a team that only had 18 wrestlers last year. They're anchored by the returning seniors, Brendan Curley, Grant Dejeneaux, Emily Angelo, and Mitchell Krupp.
Yeah, it should be an interesting duel. Portsmouth coming in, typically kind of a big team. Big meaning that they fill out a lot of the heavier weight classes. We start tonight's duel at 285 pounds with Merrimack sophomore Tyler Hansberry. I'm not sure who the Portsmouth wrestler is.
It's either Michael Sherburn or Kami Miso El-Sid.
Looks like it's Kamis El-Sid. And immediately Hansberry to his back and a quick 6-point win by fall for the Portsmouth Clippers. For our viewers at home, there's a scoreboard there at the bottom of your screen. That scoreboard's going to reflect the dual meet team score. We've got 15 bouts here, matches that will be wrestled. Each match, depending on the outcome of the bout, will score a certain amount of points for the various teams.
For Merrimack, we have Chase Emond at the 106 weight class. It's his first year wrestling. He won his first match last week in Winnicunnet.
Looks like Chase has gone out to accept a forfeit and a wrestler from Portsmouth, which ties our duel at 6-6. Looks like we're going to go the other way now with a forfeit at 113. That's Carter Kuhn for the Portsmouth Clippers, one of their better wrestlers. Not going to get a bout tonight. And it's 12-6 Portsmouth after 3 weights. Looks like coming out at 120 pounds for Merrimack is going to be freshman Landon LeBlanc.
So Landon's been wrestling for 2 years. He also plays football and lacrosse. He wrestled well this weekend in Sauhegan.
Yeah, for Portsmouth, this looks like it's going to be Joe Lacasse. Very aggressive right off the whistle here. Lots of good hand fighting. See a lot of pace from these the lower weight wrestlers. LeBlanc in there trying to turn the corner, and he's around for 2. Lacasse from Portsmouth trying to get the hips free. Little knee slide. Looking for that stand up. Blank from Merrimack. A nice little mat return there. Kind of keep control, cover the hips. You can see the Portsmouth wrestler working down there at the bottom, trying to stay active. LeBlanc here with a half, trying to run this half. Looks like he's lost it a little bit, but it looks like he's got control. I see our referee, Ben Tessier, counting out near fall points, and there's the win by fall for the Tomahawks.
It's a good win for Landon, the freshman winning only his second duel of the year.
Brings this to a 12-12 duel after 4 weights.
So again, at the 126 weight class, we're going to have Connor Sable from Merrimack. Looks like he's going to be wrestling Andrew Nilly
Yeah, this has the potential to be a really nice match. Obviously, with our wrestler here, the Tomahawk, Connor Sabal finished third at 120 pounds last year at D2s. Portsmouth AJ Nilly was the runner-up last year at D2s at 120 pounds and just finished third this weekend at the Souhegan tournament. So right away, we've got AJ Nilly in on the leg, trying to complete this takedown. Referee's waving it off, and it looks like we're out of bounds. So a little danger position there early for Connor.
Yeah, I think he got lucky getting out of there.
Yeah, he survives, and we're back in a neutral position. Looks like Nilly from Portsmouth is wrestling pretty heavy on the head. Looking for a little head and arm there. Ooh, nice little ankle pick there by Connor. Sabal trying to get around for the two right there on the edge. Right there on the edge, trying to finish this takedown. Oh, we got a little reversal in the air. Got a little scramble. No scoring and no scoring. It's a whole lot of action.
I was going to say, very active match.
Yeah, a whole lot of action. This is what it is when you get into these lower weights. You're going to see very active, very fast-paced bouts. Looks like Nilly's in there on an ankle. Trying to elevate that a little bit to be able to get around and turn the corner. Sabal trying to control the waist here. Stay off his back. Looks like Sabal might be able to pop his head out here. If he can pop his head and come to the waist, and there it is. Takedown for two for Sabal and Merrimack. Nilly clamping that arm hard. Looks like we got short time here in the period. Nilly trying to get one. Sabal not willing to give it up. And looks like we're going to have a reversal. No reversal. Looks like it's just going to be one for Portsmouth. Merrimack, Sabal in again on the double. Trying to finish. 2-1 here with 10 seconds to go in the first period. Merrimack leading this particular bout. Sabal trying to pop his head to that hip and turn the corner. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and not able to finish the takedown.
There's a lot of activity and exciting round for a 2-1 score.
Looks like Sabal struggling with that shoulder. Got the injury time clock rolling. Sabal currently leading after one period, 2-1. Duel is tied, 12-12. Connor Sabal, a junior for Merrimack, one of those upperclassmen, one of the leaders on this team. Somebody that provides all those freshmen that you talked about, Kevin, with a little bit of leadership, a little bit of experience. This is a very young and inexperienced team. Certainly needs everything they can get from some of these senior and junior leaders.
Yeah, from what I'm understanding and hearing from the team, Connor's doing a great job this year as a junior leader. You don't see a lot of juniors as captains.
Looks like the trainer's taking a good hard look. Coach trying to see what we're going to do, and it looks like Connor's going to be unable to continue and is going to medical default out of this match. So
That's an unfortunate,
tough break for Connor, tough break for the team for sure. You know, we were looking pretty good there in the first period. Tough to give up those points, but it's wrestling. Sometimes
it was so exciting too. It was such an exciting first round.
Yeah, 100%. So Portsmouth takes the 18-12 lead heading into the bout at 132 pounds.
So for Merrimack, we have Emily Angelo, a senior wrestler. She's been wrestling 11 years, and her proudest accomplishment was winning the state championship, the first New Hampshire state championship in the women's division.
Yeah, phenomenal. I watched that entire tournament, both the co-ed bracket and the girls bracket. I thought Emily Angelo's championship final match, I believe it was against Casey Rhodes, one of the best matches most exciting matches of the entire tournament. So Emily, just star performance for the Tomahawks last year in the Meet of Champions.
Looks like Emily's going up against Logan Chase for Portsmouth.
She's in on that leg. Logan's heavy on the head there, trying to stuff the head, prevent this takedown from happening. Emily's trying to elevate those hips to be able to get around and turn the corner. And looks like referee Ben Tessier calling potentially dangerous. We're going to start over again in neutral. I think just maybe a week or so ago, news came out that Emily had committed, I believe it's to Iowa Central, to wrestle
I think so.
at Iowa
Yeah.
Central. So going to continue her wrestling career here at the collegiate level. Portsmouth wrestler in there, collects 2 for a takedown and leads 2-0. Halfway through the first period, riding hard. Angelo trying to close up those elbows. Emily looking for an opportunity to get a little hip separation here and hopefully get this escape. You can see a little knee slide there, trying to create some space. And we've got a stall warning here. Looks like right there on the edge, Portsmouth wrestler kind of trying to drag Emily back in. Emily, knowing where she is, gets out of bounds. 16 seconds to go here in the first period. Portsmouth wrestler leading 2-0. Emily's going to start down in the referee's position. Good movement off the whistle there for Angelo. Nice, very nice reversal there for Angelo, trying to get around that corner. She's got to clear those hands off the leg. Trying to whip down, very close. No reversal there at the buzzer, no points scored.
I thought she had it there for a minute.
Yeah, she looked like the Portsmouth wrestler just caught her leg as she was trying to come around and secure that reversal. So we head into the second period with Portsmouth leading 2-0, and Portsmouth chooses to go neutral. Lots of hand fighting. Both wrestlers kind of attacking the head a little bit. Lots of circling. Trying that arm drag, and Portsmouth is able to secure another 2. Now leads 4-0 in the match. Angelo's going to have to get moving here. About 30 seconds into period 2, and we've got a whistle. Not sure exactly what happened there. Couldn't see what was happening underneath, but the result was a stall warning on the Portsmouth wrestler. I believe that's a stall warning for each wrestler at this point, with 1:23 to go in the second. The Portsmouth wrestler leading 4-0. Looks like he's trying to kind of stack Emily up here a little bit, trying to turn that corner. Emily's able to defend well. I'm going to assume, being a female wrestler, that Emily does a fair amount of freestyle wrestling.
She does a lot of freestyle wrestling in the summertime.
Yeah, I know it's free in the collegiate level. It's freestyle wrestling, and obviously at the Olympic and world level, everything is freestyle. And I can see, just watching Emily, a lot of sort of freestyle influence in the way she wrestles, particularly on the bottom.
I believe she wrestled at Fargo this summer in the big tournament.
Yeah, one of the premier wrestling events for some of the high school kids in the country. So it looks like Emily was just called for her second stall. That's going to result in a point for Portsmouth. And Portsmouth leads 5-0 as we close out the second period. I can tell you it's been an ongoing debate as long as I've been on the wrestling scene. The debate whether or not we should be calling more stalling calls more frequently, trying to drive action. And I know our referee tonight, Ben Tessier, who's also the host of a wrestling video blog, I guess you'd call it, Ben's Den, talked about that specifically in his season opening blog. how as a referee he's trying to be more consistent with the way he calls stalling. So I think you're seeing some of that stuff playing out here tonight. And Emily Angelo is in for a takedown and 2, and it's now 5-2 in favor of the Portsmouth wrestler. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third period.
I think it's good for the sport to increase the stalling calls and get it moving.
Yeah, I mean, as a former coach on the youth level, spent a little time with Merrimack youth and have watched a whole lot of wrestling in my time with NHWA and at the high school level. I think we could absolutely use a little quicker. I think we could probably be a little quicker to the stall calls. At the end of the day, I think officiating in general is just all about consistency. And so the more work that our referees, and I think Ben talked about this, the more work they can do to I'd like to see it quicker, but if it's not going to be quicker, maybe just more consistent with the manner in which it's called. I think it certainly would help us drive a little bit of the action. So looks like we are going to resume action here. I think we've got a small clock issue. Looks like we've got 2:24 on the clock. I think that's supposed to be 1:24. So it looks like that's going to be taken care of. We resume action with Portsmouth leading this particular bout 5-2, and Angelo looking to score here. So decision time really coming for Emily here. She's got to either, cut the Portsmouth wrestler and play the takedown, let him up game, or she's going to have to get a turn here, looking to score some back points to be able to tie this match. And it looks to me like she's gonna go the route of. Looks like she made an attempt there to get around to the front, maybe try to bulldog or cement mixer to get some back points, and then decided to cut the Portsmouth wrestler. So it's currently 6-2 in favor of the Clipper. And he collects another 2-point takedown to make it 8-2. Looks like we've got about 35 seconds to go in the match. Portsmouth leading 8-2. Just a scoring note, I think, at this point, too, probably good for us to talk about. This is probably an area where we got to be careful, right, if you're Merrimack. You don't want to give up another 2 points. The deficit in this match right now is 6. If it gets to 8, then Portsmouth collects the extra team point for the major decision, and we'll end up getting 4 points instead of 3 for the decision. But you just saw Emily Angelo collecting the 1-point escape, making it 8-3 in favor of Portsmouth.
So she holds off and keeps it a minor.
Yeah, definitely one of the small nuances, the differences between wrestling in a dual meet or wrestling in a tournament. That team score does matter. And sometimes, when it gets late in the match like that and there's really not a path to victory for you, there's a sort of a moral victory, a team victory in being able to hold that score to only giving up 3 team points as opposed to 4. Those things absolutely matter at the end of some of these duels.
So here at 138, Grant Degenot will be representing Merrimack, another senior, been wrestling for 5 years. He's undecided on college at the moment. Looks like not sure if he's wrestling against Michael Shortill or Nick Sousa.
He's immediately, we've got Grant Deschenaux, another one of our, I believe, senior captains, correct?
Yes, he is captain, yep.
So senior captain Grant Deschenaux immediately gets 2, and then an escape for the Portsmouth wrestler makes it 2-1. Portsmouth wrestler trying to whiz her hard there, but unsuccessful, and Grant collects another 2-point takedown, leads 4-1. With about 1:20 to go here in the first period.
Grant was another wrestler, had a good tournament on Saturday.
I think he collected maybe 3 or 4 wins over there in Souhegan. The Portsmouth wrestler gets an escape. And Deschenaux of Merrimack leading this bout 4-2. Looking to get behind here, collects another 2. Now leads 6-2. Under a minute to go in the first period. As the Portsmouth wrestler in danger, nearly got the turn. Working hard, looking for a tilt. And the Portsmouth wrestler able to kind of roll through there. Looks like Deschanel working, trying to put the half in there. Tight on that waist, trying to cover the hips of the bottom wrestler. We had an escape there for one, and now we're wrestling right on the edge. Looks like Grant's trying to pull him back in. Working hard here on the edge, trying to secure two. And we're out of bounds with no score. No score there. Deschanel and Merrimack leading this match 6-3, 4 seconds to go. Going for the quick takedown there.
Get that too quickly.
And secures a two right at the buzzer.
It's a nice finish there.
That's a great finish. Any points you can collect there in that last 3, 4, 5 seconds of a period, it almost feels like freebie points. Interesting decision here with the Merrimack wrestler Deschanel leading 8-3. We've got Portsmouth, the Portsmouth wrestler choosing to start in the top position. Must feel really good about the top game, but Deschanel was out early. He's going to have to try to clear those hands a little bit. Either get some separation for an escape. Nope. Looks like he's going to circle around and gets a reversal for two. Now leads 10-3. Looks like he's working, trying to bring the head and the knee together. Looks like Deschanel working, trying to find a cradle here. Not quite able to finish that one. And looked like Deschanel caught the Portsmouth wrestler, comes right back in with that blast double, collects two more, and leads 12-4. Into major decision territory here,
correct.
Kevin. Deschanel leading by 8. Minute to go in the second period.
I think Grant's going to be looking for more points, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's feeling pretty good tonight, feeling comfortable.
He's been in control of this whole match.
He's going to cut him again. You can see Grant, Deschanel really stalking across the mat, forcing the action. And there's a stall call by referee Ben Tessier. And I can tell you, plain and simple, that is a direct result of the Portsmouth wrestler's posture there, right? It's almost a backwards run, moving away, right? So Deschanel putting a lot of forward pressure, advancing on the Portsmouth wrestler. And as he continues to back up like that, that's almost going to be an automatic from the referee on the stalling call. So Deschanel leading 14-5 with time winding down here in the second period. 5 seconds to go. And Deschanel is going to enter the third period with choice and leading by 9. Deschanel chooses down. Going to be looking for either a quick escape or potentially reversal here to try to extend this lead. And there it is. Gets a quick escape, right back into this blast double, and another finish. And Deschanel leads 17-5. Trying to run this half from the top. We're getting close to tech fall territory here.
If he can just get some back points. Get the Portsmouth wrestler on his back for a little bit.
You got to wonder at this point with the amount of control that Deschanel's been able to exert if it's not time to try to look for that fall. Collect 6 points, a technical fall worth 5, so 1 extra point on the table if Deschanel was able to get a turn and get the pin here. So an escape for the Portsmouth wrestler, and I can hear the Portsmouth coaches imploring their wrestler to stop going backwards. Deschanel again in on that double leg and collects another 2, leads 19-6. So Deschanel wins there by technical fall, collects 5 team points for the Merrimack Tomahawks.
Enjoying the game? Check out more MHS sports action. Download the Merrimack TV app. Merrimack TV is a free download from your device's app store. Download Merrimack TV on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire device to watch live varsity sports, concerts, meetings, events, and other on-demand content. Now at the 144 category, we have Cale McAloon, a freshman. He's been wrestling for 10 years. It's a lot of years for a freshman.
He's been out there. A familiar name for me, for sure. Familiar face as well. Cale started wrestling with the Merrimack Youth Association when he was just 5 years old, so he's been out here for a little while. Looks like we're having a little trouble at the scorer's table. I think this is Ben Gottlieb.
Yes, I believe you're right.
For Portsmouth. It's going to be a tall task for sure. You mentioned Cale's just a freshman. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ben Gottlieb is a junior. So tall task for a freshman wrestler out here. Almost immediately, McAloon was trying to get in on a shot. Got a little bit flattened out, and Gottlieb was able to circle around and collect 2 for a takedown. You can see a lot of action. Very strong wrestler here for Portsmouth. Ben Gottlieb doing a nice job, being able to kind of cover the hips and control the action from the top. Looks like Gottlieb's looking to try to run a half here. He's got the power half secured. McAloon cranking down with that left arm, trying to defend. Looks like he's able to fight that one off. Really got to be looking for an opportunity here to get the head up. Never a good idea when you're the bottom wrestler to kind of be flattened out and face down on the mat. But it looks like we might have a cradle locked up here by Gottlieb of Portsmouth, and he's got McAloon over, collecting back points, trying to see the fall here, and Tessier's down, and that's going to be a 6-point fall for the Portsmouth Clippers.
That's a tough one for Merrimack, but lots of action in that round.
Absolutely. Our freshman fill-in tonight, normally a spot occupied by senior Mitchell Krupp, who's fighting a little bit of a knee, a little knee injury he's working through. So the coach decided to roll our freshman out there, and I think you saw what happens sometimes when the freshman goes out against the upperclassmen. So
they're fighting a battle as it is.
Absolutely.
So
we move to 150.
We have Carter Anderson, another freshman in his second year wrestling. It looks like he's wrestling against...
I think this is Elvis Miles for Portsmouth. We've got a little hand fighting going on here. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler trying to get in there on the shot. Anderson defending hard here, kind of heavy on the head, gets in on a single here. Trying to elevate and turn the corner. Portsmouth wrestler defending hard, and we're out of bounds with no score.
There's good defense on that shot. Carter showed some real promise so far this year.
Another one of these freshman wrestlers getting a lot of varsity experience very early on. Something to be learned even in some of the losses.
Yeah.
Collecting a whole lot of experience early on. Definitely paid dividends, I think, for this squad down the line.
Sure. Win or lose, it's a great experience.
It looks like Anderson has 2 and then is quickly going to give up a reversal. We've now got a tie match, 2-2. 50 seconds here in the first. Anderson trying to get those hips away and collects 1 for his escape. That's impressive wrestling so far here for the freshman from Merrimack. Wrestling an upperclassman from Portsmouth who's got a lot of wrestling experience.
It's a young season, and they've already got a lot of experience here.
100%. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler in on the shot, not able to secure the takedown. Anderson doing a nice job defending another one. Whoop. Got a little out of hand there for a second.
Yeah.
Everybody collects themselves, and we're back to wrestling in the center of the mat. Short time here in the period, 10 seconds to go. With Carter Anderson of Merrimack leading this bout 3-2.
I believe this
And
will
we'll go
be
to
a
the second.
score correction, probably.
Looks like we've got Portsmouth coach Randy Whistler here at the table. So we start the second period here with the Portsmouth wrestler down. Anderson riding hard. Merrimack's Carter Anderson currently leading this bout 3-2. We've got this Portsmouth wrestler kind of cross-facing hard here, trying to secure a reversal and is able to secure it. Portsmouth now leads the bout 4-3. Looks like Portsmouth wrestler trying to run the half here. Nelson got to be able to look away from that. He's able to look away. The Portsmouth wrestler changes sides. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler trying to, looks like we might have a Turk here, looking for a turn to collect some near fall points. This is one of the worst positions to be in, I think, when a big guy like this puts those legs in, kind of has that body lock going on. He's got you fully stretched out. Looks like we've got blood. I don't think the referee has seen it yet, but looks like some blood coming out of Anderson's face, and now the referee will stop it.
He sees it now.
And we will move into blood time. I think that's coming from Carter Anderson's nose.
Tell us, come over here. I'll clean you up. Stand over here. I'll clean you.
I think one of the big differences you see oftentimes in the upperclassmen is their ability to use their legs when they wrestle and not just trying to use their upper body strength.
Yeah, 100%. This is going to be a tough sport. You see a lot of bloody noses and split lips. Blood time's a sort of cost of doing business for us here in this sport. Something you don't see in most high school sports. You know, it's usually a tweaked ankle or a tweaked knee. In wrestling, there's a whole lot of bloody noses, or getting a tooth knocked out, or some of those things. So
That was one of the surprises for me when my son started wrestling, is all the bloody noses. And you don't think of it, but they're in such close contact and the head's bopping around. And
there's really nothing like tournament time, I'll tell you, Kevin. Tournament time comes around, and some of these wrestlers are wrestling 5 and 6 bouts in a day. I mean, I've seen some state finals matches where kids are wrapped up like mummies, where they've got that gauze just wrapped completely around their heads and around their faces. I don't know how they're breathing. I don't know how they're seeing. But it's certainly it's a tough sport for tough, resilient kids. It's one of the benefits, I think, certainly of this sport. There's no teammates out there. It's you and the guy across from you, and that's it.
That's it. That's a tough adjustment for a lot of these wrestlers, too, that come from football and lacrosse and other team sports, where you make a mistake, and a lot of times it can be covered up by a teammate, or it's not noticed by the casual fan. Out here, you're the guy.
Yep, it's just you. It's just you. And more often than not, those little mistakes will end the match. So it's a lesson they all have to learn. Looks like we're still just working on cleaning Carter up a little bit here. Looks like we've got the plug in the nose. Now just working on cleaning up any of the blood that's on the mat or residual that's still on the bodies of the two wrestlers.
Merrimack TV has been recognized by the Alliance for Community Media with awards for outstanding public education and government programming. Stay connected with Merrimack TV and follow us at facebook.com/MerrimackTV.
So we are back underway here. 30 seconds to go in the second period. But the Portsmouth wrestler was leading 4-3. Anderson able to get the escape and tie this bout At 4 apiece, 20 seconds to go in the second period. We've got Portsmouth leading the team score 27-17. Currently wrestling at 150 pounds. Freshman Carter Anderson of Merrimack. This is a key time in the match. Don't want to give anything up here late in the period. And Anderson able to fend off the attack from the upperclassman from Portsmouth.
So close match so far at 4-4 through 2.
Good strategic decision here, I think, with Merrimack getting to have the choice here to start the third period. Anderson goes down.
He's shown an ability to get out so far.
He's escaped, I think, twice on the bout. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler trying to ride those legs again. Get Anderson stretched out. Anderson looking to try to build back up, inchworm back up, get back to his base. Again, this match tied 4-4. Anderson looking to go ahead here, get some go-ahead points with an escape. But looks like we're close. He's potentially going to get turned here. That was a danger position. Anderson still trying to fight this off, trying to swim that arm back through. The Portsmouth wrestlers got him in danger. Not able to break the 45-degree plane. And looks like now we see the referee. Oh, just one swipe there, not enough to collect any back points. Carter Anderson fighting hard. Now the Portsmouth wrestlers got us in trouble. Anderson's back exposed here. Looks like the referee's holding the 3 for near fall points. So Anderson gonna have to fight his way off his back. Doing a good job trying to bridge and fight off his back and able to get to his belly.
He got out of that.
Such a big moment again for Merrimack there. You know, not to give up the 6-point fall. Keep this thing close and still give himself an opportunity to continue to wrestle in the bout, and maybe something can happen.
He's still got time to tie this up.
Currently 7-4 lead for Portsmouth here in the bout. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler trying to suck him back here. Collect another set of back points. Looks like we got short time, 13 seconds to go in the bout. It's a critical moment here. Anderson trying to stay out of the fall. And he's again able to do so. These are those small victories, Kevin. Portsmouth wins that bout 10-6, so just a 3-point decision for Portsmouth. And frankly, late there in the last 20 seconds, a couple of opportunities for Portsmouth that they could have collected 6.
Carter played well defensively in that one.
That's a good, solid effort by the freshman, able to limit the damage there. Portsmouth now leading the duel 30-17. Here's a wrestler that looks familiar to you, Kevin.
I know him well. Brendan Curley's been wrestling for about 6 years, defending Division II champion, and committed to the U.S. Air Force upon graduation.
There you go. Brendan had a great season opening tournament on Saturday, collecting the championship title at 157 pounds at Sauhegan.
It was a long day, but a proud finish for him. He's wrestling Alex I'm going to butcher this, Sikora, who was a semifinalist in that same tournament on Saturday.
Looks like we're just doing a little mat maintenance here, maybe some residual blood from that last bout at 150 pounds. Our referee, Ben Tessier, doing double duty. Part referee, part biohazard technician or something out there. It looks like we're ready to go here at 157 pounds.
You're watching Merrimack TV, your community, your voice. A quick shot by Portsmouth.
Curley immediately in there, collecting 2 points on the takedown. Looks like he's trying to run that bar arm. And looks like he's now also collected the wrist, and we're right into a tilt. Danger position and a quick fall for senior captain Brendan Curley. Continuing the run that he's been on here. Hopefully that continues for the rest of the season.
It's impressive.
And just like
impressive
that,
match.
6 more team points for the Merrimack Tomahawks.
That brings it to 30-23, I believe.
Yeah, 30-23. And we move to 165 pounds.
This is Sean Gendron. He's wrestling up a weight class today, so this will be a good challenge for him. He's a sophomore.
Looks like he's going to be wrestling.
He's wrestling up two weight classes today. He wrestles 150 and occasionally at 157.
I think this is going to be Kennedy Hammond for Portsmouth. Looks like Sean. Looks like he's got a leg in there. If we can get this thing back to the mat, he's got a chance to collect 2. Kind of out front, trying to fight that takedown off. But Portsmouth able to collect a 2-point takedown. Good motion there. Good job by Gendron. Got a little separation, was able to get to his feet, but mat returned by the Portsmouth wrestler. Gendron really trying to work those hands, able to get back to his base, back to his feet, and again returned. You might see a little bit of the weight mismatch here with Sean coming up a couple of weights here.
A lot of times these throws use up more energy than they're worth.
Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler trying to lock up a cradle here, has it locked up. Gendron able to break the hands and limit that to just the 2-point near fall. Portsmouth now leading this bout 4-0. 48 seconds to go in the first.
This is a tough match for Sean. He wrestled up weight classes most of last year to get experience, so.
These are the things you do. I think you had mentioned that Sean's a sophomore.
Correct, yeah.
Sometimes this is what it takes for some of the younger wrestlers. It might seem counterintuitive, but some of these younger wrestlers, in order to find their way into the lineup, end up wrestling in some weight classes that maybe they're not the natural weights, let's say, just to try to find their way into the lineup and gain some experience. I think I saw that we had a stall call there on the Portsmouth wrestler on top. Referee Ben Tessier determining that he was not working enough to improve his position. So Gendron doing a good job. Gendron can encourage a lot of those things by continuing to move on the bottom and really put pressure on the Portsmouth wrestler to not be able to advance his position. He has some control over some of those stall calls. So we will end the first period with the Portsmouth wrestler leading 4-0.
So this is still a close match, anyone's game.
Portsmouth choice and chooses to start down to start the second period. Again, Portsmouth leading 4-0 here in this bout. Gendron coming down to cover. Ooh, looks like we have a caution on, I believe that was on Gendron of Merrimack. Not getting the hand to the belly button, and Tessier calling him on that. Gendron trying to get the mat return. And looks like Portsmouth is going to be able to secure at least an escape here. And there's the one for the escape. And then right in on a double, trying to finish the double. And that's 3 quick points for Portsmouth in the span of about 5 seconds. And Portsmouth now leads this bout 7-0. Minute 34 to go in the second period. Portsmouth leading in the team score, 30-23. Gendron trying to clamp down hard. You can see that motion. He's kind of got caught in a half here. Portsmouth wrestler trying to circle to his head, drive him forward. And now Gendron fighting off his back. Looks like this is going to be danger here for Merrimack Sean Gendron, but able to get off his back.
Out of it. Yep.
Portsmouth wrestler awarded the 3-point near fall. Now leads 10-0 with 1 minute to go in the second period. Into major decision territory here. Major decision worth 4 team points if the match were to end now.
An escape would be great right now for Merrimack.
And looks like we're back in danger here. The Portsmouth wrestler trying to get the turn. Has the turn, referee counting. And there's a fall for the Portsmouth Clippers at 165 pounds. And they now lead 36-23 in the team score. As we move to 175 pounds. So that last wrestler may have been Cullen Dennett for Portsmouth, because it looks like this is Kennedy Hammond, who's going to come out and accept a 6-point forfeit. Merrimack not sending anybody out at 175 pounds. So Portsmouth now leads this dual meet 42-23. And I see Elijah Josie coming out here at 190 pounds. One of the best wrestlers in the state. A kid that's got not just state championship aspirations, but certainly a contender on the New England level.
Phenomenal
Look
talent.
like
for
Merrimack's got anybody that's going to come out to oppose him. Probably bittersweet. Probably bittersweet. Good to have those team points, but I have a hard time believing that Josie's going to be happy getting a forfeit. These guys want to wrestle.
They all want to wrestle.
So it looks like we're going to move to 215 pounds. Looks like Portsmouth is going to send out, I believe this is Nick Gladu. And looks like Merrimack's going to forfeit another.
Either.
So I know we've had a little bit of an injury bug, a little bit of a sickness bug running through the lineup here. Looks like and I think that's going to conclude our varsity duel here this evening, with the Portsmouth Clippers defeating your Merrimack Tomahawks 54-23.
The Town of Merrimack's media division is branded Merrimack TV. The division is funded by way franchise fees from Comcast cable suppliers in Merrimack. The Town of Merrimack is a community TV facility located at 6 Babusick Lake Road. Only 4 cable channels reach over 8,000 homes. We're accessible online at merrimacktv.com and on the Merrimack TV app.
Getting word from our producers here that we're going to continue to roll through and cover some of these JV matches. I think this is Landon Schultz?
I honestly don't know.
I think this is Landon Schultz for the Tomahawks.
There's a lot of new freshman faces this year. I'm still learning them here.
What did we say? Was it like 19 freshmen, I think?
19 freshmen on the 30 member team.
Landon right out there and immediately securing the takedown, leads 2-0. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler also probably a fairly young wrestler. Not doing a whole lot there, and they're on the bottom. And we're working our way out of bounds. The referee stopping the action as we headed out of bounds. The Merrimack wrestler leading 2-0.
It's great that they have the opportunity to get these JV matches in.
Yeah, no question. I think the more JV wrestling we do with these things, the better. With the increase that we've seen in roster sizes in the last couple years, tremendous growth at all levels, really, in New Hampshire wrestling, from the youth to the middle school. Now starting to feel the growth that we've had in the youth and middle school, starting to enter the high school level. Teams are getting bigger and bigger. The number of teams that I've seen this year or heard about that are plus 30 kids on the roster is just amazing compared to where we were in years past.
And these JV kids are they're the varsity kids of next year or the year after.
Yeah, no question. This is valuable experience for them. Looks like Landon's got him in trouble and able to secure the fall. It's a nice win for a freshman, I think first-time wrestler there, Landon Schultz. Looks like Justin Maynard coming out for Portsmouth.
So I believe this is Malcolm Brannon at 120 pounds.
Malcolm, another one of these group of freshmen, first-time wrestler for the Tomahawks. Looks like Maynard of Portsmouth right in on a shot, not able to secure the takedown.
So Malcolm has no experience even at the youth level. This is his first time on the mat.
You can see he's in on that single leg, trying to collect the takedown. But Maynard of Portsmouth, able to fight that off and secure the takedown for himself, leads 2-0. Malcolm trying to find a way to get to his belly, get out of this danger position. Right on the edge, looks like he collects the one for the escape.
It goes right in on him, right for the shot.
And then the Portsmouth wrestler, looks like Justin Maynard in on a double, straight to the back for Maynard. And the Portsmouth bench going crazy. I think loving their freshman.
I'm more excited over the JV mat.
That's the most noise we've heard all night for sure. I see all these, the Portsmouth roster jumping all over their freshman brethren over here. Must be a team favorite for them. I see Luke Emond coming out for the Tomahawks. Luke has spent a number of years in the various Merrimack programs. I used to coach Luke in the MYA program and the Merrimack Youth program. I think Luke wrestled his middle school time with it was either St. Christopher, Nashua Catholic. I think they might be combined now.
Okay.
But back here in Merrimack for his high school campaign. Luke needs to find a way to get back to his feet, maybe clear this Portsmouth wrestler off his head. Portsmouth wrestler in on a single. Luke trying to fight that off hard, right on the edge. And we come back to the center in neutral.
So as you said, Luke's been wrestling 7 years, so that puts him since maybe 8 years old or so.
Yeah, Luke was in the program for a long time. One of my favorite kids. I think Luke probably wrestled 3 or 4 years. Never missed a practice. One of the kids that just constantly working in the practice room. A kid that's hard not to be smiling at. Reminds me a little bit of Mitchell Krupp.
Yeah.
Didn't find success early, that's for sure. But I remember, I think Luke's first win ever at a tournament in Leominster when he was probably 11 or 12 years old. There is virtually no doubt in my mind I was happier about that win than Luke was. Just a great kid who you want to see good things happen for.
I think Luke's just another example of what the future of Merrimack has. In recent years, the freshman classes have been 3 or 4 kids. You see this year 3 kids, three juniors. But with a freshman class of this size and a middle school class that I hear is similar, the future in Merrimack is quite bright for wrestling.
Yeah, and I think that's really, it's great, no question. It's great for Merrimack, but it's something I think we've started to see across the board in a lot of programs. We've got more and more high school teams have started to develop the middle school programs and the youth programs. The youth wrestling scene has absolutely exploded here in the last few years. Looks like Luke just lost that one by fall to the Portsmouth wrestler. It's a great kid, just a freshman. Luke will be back for sure. But yeah, I remember, some of our early on, I think, in my involvement with NHWA, I think our first youth state tournament had 180 kids at it. We were in Keene last year with 600 wrestlers in the K through 8 ranks. So just seeing tremendous growth in the youth ranks. That has permeated up through the middle school ranks and now really starting to find its way into the high schools. And these programs are bigger. I think we're getting to the point where shortly I think Concord always does a really good job with the JV events.
Yes, they do.
I think we're going to see an opportunity to just continue to grow, some of these JV events to the point where, we can probably start having. It won't be long before we can start having JV, duels kind of as standalone events, and where we come in and we wrestle a JV duel for an hour before we even get to varsity. I think that's probably the vision. I know with Ben and his, video blog, that's something that's been talked about, but certainly an opportunity for us to continue to push wrestling forward, continue to grow it, raise the level of competition in the state for sure.
I'm hearing coaches in other sports say the very same thing. Participation is up across the board in the younger grades.
Little caution there for the Portsmouth wrestler. Not quite getting the hand placement around or into the belly button correct. Referee Ben Tessier putting the caution up. It's Merrimack wrestler. Not sure who this is. Can't see his face, but needs to get his head right up there off that mat. Never a good thing to be the bottom wrestler and have your face buried in that mat. Looking to really inchworm your way up. Try to build back to your base. Get your head off the mat. And look for a way to get some space, right? You want to be able to clear your hips, get to your feet, hopefully secure the escape or potentially get a reversal. I think this is Justin Foss.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, I think this is Justin Foss from Merrimack. Looks like we've got kind of a strange little cradle there. Foss was able to escape from. And it is 2-1 Portsmouth in this match. 45 seconds to go here in the first period.
I believe Justin is pretty new to wrestling as well.
I believe he is. I think this is Ben Gottlieb again for the Clippers. Just kind of running that tight waist, far ankle. Trying to break Foss down. He's able to break him down to the mat. Now needs to start looking for a turn.
Yeah, so Justin has been wrestling 2 years.
Right there on the edge. And referee Ben Tessier calls the match to a halt as the wrestlers go out of bounds.
With
And
3 seconds
we'll
left in
restart
this
with
period.
3 seconds to go here in the first. Gottlieb getting a little advice there. I think that's one of the Portsmouth assistant coaches, Royce Josie. And at the end of the first period, Ben Gottlieb of Portsmouth leading Justin Foss 2-1. With Foss deferring and Portsmouth choosing to start the second period down. Red is set. Referee Ben Tessier calls Foss in to cover. Gottlieb quickly to his feet, looking for a reversal here. Able to secure the reversal and leads 4-1. Working hard, got control of the wrist there. You can see across Foss's body. And then circles back around into a safe position to cover the hips. Back to that tight waist ankle. Trying to drive Foss flat. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler was called for a full Nelson, a technical violation. Results in 1 point for the Merrimack wrestler. And Gottlieb of Portsmouth now leading Foss of Merrimack 4-2. Minute 26 seconds to go here in the second period. Gottlieb really wearing Foss out with this tight waist and ankle. And it looks like Foss was just hit with a stall warning by referee Ben Tessier. Foss is going to have to get himself going. He's got to show that he's trying to improve his position. Foss able to turn him to his back and collect the fall.
A tough match for Justin, but good learning experience, like we've said before.
Did a nice job there again. Another freshman, and Ben Gottlieb is a varsity wrestler for Portsmouth. So, absolutely no shame in
No.
that one. So it looks like Portsmouth doesn't have too many of the JVs, and they're kind of sending a lot of their their varsity wrestlers back out to wrestle a second time. This is Micah Dodds coming out for Merrimack, another kid that spent a number of years in the youth program. Micah, another one of these freshmen. Like I said, spent a lot of time in the MYA program. I know Micah saw some pretty good success this weekend. Went up to Concord and wrestled in the JV Rumble up there. Again, Concord always doing a good job with those JV events. I think Micah was 3-1 this weekend. Took second place in his weight class, so enjoyed some good early season success on the JV scene.
The Merrimack JV team in general did very well this weekend. A lot of places.
Looks like Micah trying to work his way back to his feet here. Got to be careful. Looks like he's kind of rolling toward his hip there. And the Portsmouth wrestler got Dodds in danger. Dodds trying to bridge, unable to do so. And Portsmouth collects another fall. Merrimack continuing to, if not rack up wins, certainly rack up experience for all these freshman wrestlers.
And there's Sean Gendron out again.
Looks like Sean Gendron's going to come out, and we have a lone wrestler tonight from St. Thomas Aquinas. I believe that's who's come out to wrestle.
So 157
against Sean Gendron at 150 pounds. I believe the wrestler's name is Petrie or Petrie. This is
Derek Peretti.
Derek Peretti from St. Thomas Aquinas. It's another topic that has been a hot topic in the high school ranks, where you have some of these kids who, maybe there's only one or two kids in a given high school that are competing in wrestling, and so they don't really have a team. And so I think Peretti here from St. Thomas likely practices with the Portsmouth team. But one of the unfortunate parts of this is, as the sole wrestler, he doesn't get to score team points. He wrestles with them, but doesn't really get to be part of the team. And I know it's another kind of topic of conversation in the community about what we can do for some of these kids, and more generally, what you do with some of these really small programs that might only have 3 or 4 kids, and can we take some of these programs and combine them and make co-ops with them? And I know it's been a huge topic of conversation on Ben's Den. Our referee tonight, Ben Tessier, like I said, has that pretty well-known podcast within the New Hampshire wrestling community. I know that was a big topic last year for him. It continues to be a topic, and I think one worthy of discussion. I understand some of the opposition, right? I think there's some, there's some people who fear that you might create a situation where people are trying to create sort of these super teams. Probably something that we could manage, right? Because I think a kid like Peretti, he deserves the opportunity to wrestle on a team and experience some of those things, and he's unable to do so. I'm not sure the creation of super teams would be my top concern.
I think we have to remember these are high school kids. It's still about getting the experience and being part of a team. You would think that if they don't really have a team at his high school, that he should be allowed to participate at another program. We have a wrestler on our team that's a student at the Academy of Science and Design.
Yep.
And he gets to wrestle for Merrimack because that's his hometown. You think an allowance could be made for Derek here?
Listen, I understand the concern for sure. I think there's always things we can do as a community, right? As leaders, right? I think our leadership, we can certainly put some ground rules in place. And Peretti just caught Gendron there with underhooks, threw him to his back, and is looking to collect the fall. Getting a little high. Gendron's kind of turning to him over here. Fighting, trying to get to his belly, and is able to get to his belly. Trying to almost repeat that. So Peretti now leading Gendron 7-5, 9-5, excuse me. This is a pretty competitive match, Kevin.
It is.
And at the end of the day, so Peretti's a one-man show here from St. Thomas Aquinas. I think we should be looking at every opportunity we can to get Peretti a couple of teammates.
Sure.
And so if next year Peretti can go out there and find another 1 or 2 or 3 kids to join him, and then the next year we get another kid, that's how programs are built. Looks like we're going to have the referee time here so that Peretti can collect his mouthpiece. Peretti of St. Thomas Aquinas leading 9-5 over Gendron of Merrimack. 32 seconds to go here in the second period.
It would be great if St. Thomas Aquinas can have the same boom in wrestling that we have this year.
This is the way. You got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere.
This kid could be the start of their program.
It's not an entirely unusual phenomenon either. I recall some pretty darn good wrestlers that were one-man shows. Noah Strout, a kid who was, I believe, he's definitely a one-time New England champion, may have been a 2-time New England champion out of Oyster River. I think they participated, if I'm not mistaken. I think he practiced at the time with Exeter. But an absolute top competitor New England champion. And in his entire high school career, he was not able to experience any kind of, team championship or accolades or really contribute in a team setting. And I think that's kind of a shame. But, and it hasn't just been, Noah Strout from Oyster River. I can't remember his last name, Brian, and his last name escapes me, a kid out of Kingswood. And I think that's a good model, right? So this kid, I think, wrestled basically by himself his first 3 years. I think by the time he was a senior, there were 3 or 4 kids. And over the course of the last few years, Kingswood has developed a middle school program and now has a thriving high school program. And so I think there's a model there for us to continue seeing some growth in these smaller programs. And I think being able to do some of those co-op type things would probably help us get there. So it looks like Peretti of St. Thomas again collecting some back points here. Peretti leading 11-5 with 1:12 to go in the third period. Gendron trying to get up to his base, collect the arm.
It's 1 minute left.
Looked like Peretti was trying to run a power half there, but was just a little too high. And Gendron able to collect the escape point. Peretti now leads 11-6. Gendron in on a double. Boy, I think that's probably the 4th or 5th time we've seen that, where Gendron's able to get in on the double.
It looks like a good shot.
Yeah, and Peretti just kind of hits that body lock, rolls him straight over, and we end up in this sort of north-south position with Peretti able to control the head.
20 seconds.
Peretti seemed to be pretty good at using his weight and the weight of his opponent, and there you see the same thing again. To defend that stuff, Peretti able to collect another 2, now leads 13-6 as time winds down here. And the bout will end. Peretti of St. Thomas Aquinas wins the bout 13-7 over Sean Gendron of Merrimack.
This is going to be a 285-pound match. We got Kareem Alfakia from Merrimack. I got that one wrong. I know that. And Miso Elsed from Portsmouth. One of the bigger matches of the day. It's almost like a different sport. You look at the 106s and 113s.
Either one of these two look like they might be candidates to play left tackle for us here with a struggling offensive line with the Patriots. These are the big boys for sure.
I think Zappy would take him in front of him.
Probably. You'll see a much different pace here. Much different pace. Both wrestlers kind of stalking here, looking for an opportunity, a little bit of hand fighting.
Kareem is a senior. He wasn't able to wrestle last year. He was hurt.
Kareem trying to get heavy on the head here of Elsed from Portsmouth. Now both wrestlers back into the center. Looks like Kareem there for Merrimack was trying to work a Russian tie. Now looking for this head and arm. Trying to get him over. Not able to do so. You don't often see scramble situations with heavyweights. That's what we saw. That's a big mat return. Look at the strength there. So it looks like we had a locking hands violation against Portsmouth before that mat return happened. So the Merrimack wrestler gets the 1 point for the technical violation.
More excitement than I'm used to
I'll tell you what, for heavyweights, they're moving around pretty good. There used to be this sort of running joke about the heavyweights. They would call them the dancing bears.
Yeah.
And there's some pretty athletic big boys that have come through in the last few years for sure. Looks like Miso from Portsmouth trying to get Kareem broken down there on the top. This could be a danger position for the Merrimack wrestlers. Got to let go of that head. He's kind of putting himself in danger here. This is where the Merrimack wrestler just needs to try to belly out and live to fight another day. Miso Elsed of Portsmouth had him in danger, but not able to collect any more back points.
I don't believe Portsmouth got any back points there.
It didn't look like they got anything. This is a pretty exciting match for heavyweights. There's a lot of action. Portsmouth wrestler leading 2-1 as we start the second period. Early in the season, I think everybody's still trying to bring their conditioning level up for sure.
These got to be harder for these guys.
It's a little harder for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of these guys probably is just coming off the football team, and it's a great sport for football. It's probably an area that we could work to improve, get more football players out here.
I don't know why every offense and defensive lineman's not out here.
You know, I think there was a broadcast last year. I think our broadcast partners, Jeff Dewar and Gary Krupp, were talking about this, where I think there was at one point, I think there were 3 former collegiate wrestlers on the offensive line of the Patriots, kind of during the dynasty heyday. So I think Stephen Neal, probably the most prolific of those wrestlers. I believe he won an NCAA title for Cal State Bakersfield.
Well, Sebastian Vollmer never played football until he was 20 years old.
There you go. Looks like the Portsmouth wrestler, Elsed, trying to get the takedown. Secures the takedown straight to the back of Kareem here. Looks like he's getting those back points counted off. And able to collect another fall for the Portsmouth Clippers. Portsmouth doing a really nice job. It's a great program, up-and-coming program. Looks like that's going to conclude our wrestling for tonight. It's great to have everybody with us. Looking forward to, I think, four more duels on tap here on Merrimack TV.
And thanks for watching today's event on Merrimack TV. If you're interested in learning more about Merrimack TV, email Nicholas and Justin at merrimacktv@merrimacknewhampshire.gov.